Hey everyone, Malthus here. If you're new to the series, this is Xcom2 with 40k mods. I wanted to go over how I got the launcher, how I installed the mods, and what I felt like they did good and what they didn't do great. So we're going to start with the launcher, and what I'll do is in the description will be all of the hyperlinks for all the stuff, and then also I'll put my Steam profile in the description. You can go in there and check my collections and what it'll be able to download all of those to use. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go into your Steam and you're going to do a fresh install of XCOM2. So I will say, if you're going to do this, you've got a game already going, maybe don't do that. Wait until after you're done. Delete the game completely, get rid of your local files, reinstall it, boot it up once, then don't do anything. Next, we're going to go to GitHub, and I've got you the link in the description to the launcher. This is a community launcher. All of these might work if you use Steam Workshop, but because of how they're put together, they have to be in a certain order. And so this launcher lets you do it a lot better. What you're going to do is you're going to go here. You're going to go to download. And as with any website that lets you do downloads, be very careful where you click. On here, just click download. And this is for Windows 64. There are versions out there for Linux and Mac and stuff like that, but this is for Windows. We're going to download this, and it comes in a zip file right here. Then you're going to, what I know works, I literally just made a folder called XCOM on my desktop, opened it up, dropped it in here, extract all to the same folder. It's going to open up a bunch of stuff. Okay. The only thing you've got to care about is this XCOM2 launcher. You're going to double click on that. And obviously, if there's a newer version, it'll be there. I don't really care. I know this one works. The getting started features. First thing you're going to do when you open it up is it's going to prompt you on if you're playing XCOM2 or Chimera Squad. This works for both. You're going to choose XCOM2, and we need War of the Chosen for this. Not necessarily for all the mods, it's just the one we're going to choose. Then you're going to go here, and you're going to use this Get Started guide. I'll put a link to it in the description, and you're just going to make sure everything gets checked as it's on here. Okay? And then when you get done, you can go to the next one. And when you pull it up, it'll pull up all of your mods that you've gone onto the workshop and downloaded. It'll pull them up into a list, to a collection called. And so you go in there and you'll be able to check mark all the ones you want to use. And if there's some from a different run or something that you're experimenting with but you don't want to use right now, you just uncheck it. Okay. If there's anything missing, you can click this. Like I can click this, right? And we'll say that there's something there. Okay. So the way this works, we click on any of our mods, go to dependencies, and if it's missing a dependency, it'll say 1, click it, it'll be on a list right here. For, our purposes, we don't have one of those because I've already fixed it. What you'll do is you'll go to, click on here, go to dependency, you'll click on this, it'll even open the Steam link for you. Take a second. So then all you have to do is click subscribe. It'll automatically download. And what I want you to do is you can refresh, but the best way to do it, go through the list of all your missing dependencies, download them all, and then close the launcher, reopen it, and then it'll automatically refresh everything. And that's like the hard refresh, so you know it's up to date. So once you get down to missing dependencies 0, you can go ahead and run War of the Chosen or Chimera Squad if you're doing that. And it'll just boot the game like normal. Now, the more mods you have, the longer it'll take, all that stuff. So, you know, and if it crashes the first time, it happens. I had a little bit of problems. I think it crashed twice on me, and it's going to just sit down here for a second while it runs. I had little to no effort put into this until, like, I don't know. I was like thinking, it'd be fun doing XCOM2 with a bunch of Warhammer mods. So I literally went on, found a list, like 200 mods, and I found this launcher. It works really well. And I was able to download them relatively quickly, get it working relatively. The reason I'm making it because it was a little frustrating for me because I had some snags. I just wanted somebody to listen to doing this, and I couldn't find a good one. So I'm just making it for you guys right now. I know XCOM2 is old, but I still love it. So, aside from that, it's relatively easy, and now we're going to switch over to looking at the different mods I'm using. And if you're just looking at this to set up the launcher, this is the end of it. Obviously, everything gets a little wonky when your dudes are 7 feet tall. He's up here somewhere. But yeah, that's the launcher. We'll move on to the mod pack. Okay, let's talk about how we get the different mod packs. All you're going to do, if you're not familiar at all with Steam, Steam has a workshop built into it, and all you'll do is you'll go here, click on that, and it'll automatically bring you to whatever game you clicked on while you're in the library. So click on the specific game you want, click on workshop, take you specifically to the workshop for that game. If you're not careful, it'll kick you out to the directory. It's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. All you got to do is really just scroll down to what game you want and search by just that game. So you have a couple options. You can try to compile your own list. So like if I put in Warhammer, it would pull up all this stuff, right? The problem with trying to get individual mods, make your own mod pack, is that you're going to miss a lot of dependencies, and it's going to be very time consuming in the back end. So what you can do instead is go to collections up here. You're going to go to browse collections, and you're going to do Warhammer or whatever you want, World War II, Halo, anything like that. And so you can find one that has good stars, so like orcs do most pop or yeah, let's do something. So we'll just kind of go through here and kind of look at them. Let's click on this one. So you click on it, and it'll have all the mods in the pack. And once you find a collection you like, and it has all the things you want, all you'll have to do is you have two options. You can do save to collection. When you do that, it'll have new collection or existing. If you do existing, it'll override it, so be careful. Or you can just do subscribe to all. If it doesn't have that option, there are ways to like download an entire list, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So look for one that has subscribe to all. That means pretty much everything's good to go on it. Like I said, once everything's installed, downloaded, what you'll want to do is you want to close this out totally, and you'll want to reopen it from the folder. Once it's done that, it'll load all of them in. You'll check each one individually. If they have a missing dependency, all you'll do is click on this. And if you have more than I have, which is a lot, and this is all the mods for that run I just did, you might have conflicts. Just go through those, and if you have two mods that are fighting, you'll have to choose one usually. Sometimes you can get away with having conflicting mods, but XCOM is already kind of chunky and has a tendency to not work times. So I am going to have a link. Like I said, I'm going to put this down in the description. I literally just made this for you guys. If you want to download it, All you'll have to do is come in here and you'll be able to click open all of the mods I used. If you want them, go ahead and subscribe to all. Welcome to save it to a collection of your own, or just add to your collections so you could use these mods and more, or some of these mods, whatever makes sense to you. My profile is Lord Malthus. Basically the same name I use on here. So, aside from that, let's talk about the mods, shall we? So there's a couple I want to talk about. Overall, modpack, very good. Highly cosmetic. Okay, it doesn't affect a lot of like gameplay items, but we'll talk about the ones it does. Gives you obviously the ability to look like Space Marine stuff. You can look like Inquisitors, Space Marines, Sisters, and Librarians, stuff. There are also mods out there that let you do like Guardsmen and stuff. So something you could look into. I didn't have that in mind very much. There's a really good Exodus or Calidus Assassin. Sorry, Calidus Assassin. One of my videos, I made a really good one. So that one's cool. A couple of the ones I want to talk about. Let's talk about the Lost. So in this, I did not know that I had downloaded this mod, and it makes all of the Lost into orcs. Okay? And they are beautiful. Like, they act like orcs. They get into melee range. They take wild shots that have incredibly low accuracy, but when they hit, they do a lot of damage. And they act just like the Lost when it comes to like sound. So if you accidentally use too many shots, you're going to get another group of them. I will say, it makes it incredibly hard. One of my worst moments in the playthrough was trying to do a mission with the Lost, where a Chosen also showed up. It was insane. I actually had to back out because there was so much stuff going on I couldn't win. In fact, I actively avoided Lost missions because they're that much harder. Kind of took away that fun, like, boom headshot type thing going on with the Lost and made it into, I am terrified to go into these. That one is in beta, but it's worth it if you like the experience. I will say overall, if you download just my mods, I would play on one difficulty lower than you'd normally play on, so you get used to everything, because a lot of the things make things, until you get used to it, and until you get some armor, things are going to hit you real hard. So be careful. The main forces that you're going to fight are Tau. There are special circumstances where you're going to fight like Dark Eldar and stuff. And they all act the way you think they'd act. So Dark Eldar have a lot of damage, a lot of speed, very little life. The Tau are like general all-arounders that have really good units. And they have traitor guardsmen as a large part of their force. So like Ogrin, some Mechanicum, they have straight up guardsmen and stuff like that. You'll see those. They're pretty great. This also has a lot of voice packs, so you can have like really cool, it makes it feel more thematic when they're talking and they say stuff about the Imperium or Inquisition, stuff like that. I would highly recommend for your male characters to use voice packs. Now for female characters, there's not a lot of them for some reason. You either have to look up voice packs for your female characters, or I just use the generic UK ones, and they fit pretty well with the Sisters of Battle. Let's see. I could never get this one working. The invisible heads. I have no idea. It doesn't have any dependencies I'm missing. Never could. And that's what lets you make Mechanicus Guitarians. So I never really messed around with that much. Evac. There's a bunch of like nice little quality of life things in this pack. So you'll be able to evac everyone all at once. And there's like Overwatch All or Smart Overwatch and stuff like that that make the game really nice. I'm just kind of slowly going through it so you guys can look at them as we go. There's a lot of cosmetics in this. A lot. Honestly, a lot more for the women. But I just used the Sisters of Battle stuff because it looks so good. You do get to pick your own characters, and you have the Warrior of Light, which is kind of like think of it like a paladin. I used them as like my healer. They're pretty good. They're like an all-arounder that has some heals. What else we got? Everyone spawns in with 40k names. They're very Roman, so that's nice. Every once in a while, you'll get one that's like a I had several that would come in and they would have East Asian names, and they would be very good for white stars. It's not a very common occurrence, but it works out really well actually. Let's see. Another thing, when you get attacked and they take down the Avenger and you have to defend it, way harder. If you watch the playthrough, you'll see that it's like way harder. Aside from that, like, oh, this is, if I had to get rid of one, it would be the civilian screen. The reason why it's in there is it makes it more immersive because it puts in just a shitload of edited clips of people screaming. Okay. The problem is it also has ones of like Marge Simpson screaming, and there's some Futurama ones in there. They're just ridiculous, right? And honestly, it's funny, but after you listen to it through an entire playthrough, it gets a little annoying. I left it in there because I used it. That's why. You'll be able to choose what your characters are past the first 4. And yeah. Obviously it's pretty good. It's like Doom music, like Doom I think it's 2016, whatever. It's pretty good. So, overall, good mod. If you want more story stuff, obviously the cutscenes and stuff are all going to default back to XCOM2. And the Chosen are all going to be changed to Tau. It's really awesome. It makes them much more flavored for your playthrough. And yeah, overall, just a great mod pack here. I'll make sure to link it in there. And if you had a good time, if you're going to try it, let me know. Also, looking for other games to play. So if you have anything that you think I'd like, I do a lot of modded games. I do a lot of turn-based stuff, city builders, stuff like that. So I'll hit you guys up later, and I hope you enjoy the playthrough if you're just now watching it. Later, guys.